Late last night on the House floor, something ugly happened, which then provoked something deeply moving. Representative Chris Smith, Republican of New Jersey, spent over 8 minutes reading graphic descriptions of abortion procedures, every word of it irrelevant to the issue at hand, which was federal funding for Planned Parenthood, none of which is used to pay for abortions. Nevertheless, the House voted to cut all funding to Planned Parenthood. I, for one, can't bear to hear what Congressman Smith had to say again. The video is available on our website. What you really must see, though, and hear, is the surprising and heartfelt response by California Democratic Congresswoman Jackie.
You know, I had really planned to speak about something else, but the gentleman from New Jersey has just put my stomach in knots. Because I'm one of those women he spoke about just now. I had a procedure at 17 weeks, pregnant with a child that had moved from the vagina into the cervix. And that procedure that you just talked about was a procedure that I endured. I lost a baby. But for you to stand on this floor and to suggest, as you have, that somehow this is a procedure that is either welcomed or done cavalierly or done without any thought is preposterous. To think that we are here tonight debating this issue when the American people, if they are listening, are scratching their heads and wondering, what does this have to do with me getting a job? What does this have to do with reducing the deficit? And the answer is nothing at all. There is a vendetta against Planned Parenthood, and it was played out in this room tonight.
Joining me now, Congresswoman Jackie Spears of California. Thank you very much for joining us tonight, Congresswoman.
Pleasure to be with you, Lawrence.
I watched that exchange on the House floor, and we're not going to show the part of Congressman Chris Smith, what he had to say that provoked you, because I just can't stand watching it again. What was it like for you to sit there and listen to what he had to say?
Well, as I said on the floor, it was gut-wrenching. I had no intentions of really going into my personal experience, but after listening to him give the just gross description of the procedure and making it seem like somehow those women that are forced to, for whatever reasons, to have to endure that kind of a procedure, it's known as dilation and evacuation, that there's nothing pleasant about it. There's nothing joyful about it. It is a very painful experience. It's a very sad and hollowing experience, and I remember it today as clearly as if it happened yesterday.
This is one of the things I think that people like Congressman Smith simply do not understand, what the actual emotional, psychic impact is on a woman going through a procedure like this. And it seems to me that if you had any lesson to try to teach him in your very limited time last night, that was it. But I don't, it doesn't feel to me like anything gets through to the men of the House of Representatives who think like Congressman Smith.
Well, for many of them, it is all about a message, and they don't think much beyond the message, and they don't think about the experiences that women endure when they have to go through something like an abortion, a spontaneous abortion, or an abortion because a woman can't carry the fetus, or because a woman has had an unintended pregnancy and can't take it to full term. And I guess for a moment on the floor last night, there was a reality check for many. And I must say that the groundswell of support has been remarkable. My colleagues have been incredibly supportive, and the public has also responded very well, because there's a silent majority of people out there that want to make sure that family planning programs are available. And we were supposed to be talking about family planning last night, and it devolved into yet another diatribe on abortion. And the family planning services that Planned Parenthood provides are all about very fundamental services. They do breast cancer screenings, they do cervical cancer screenings, they provide all the various family planning options, be they birth control pills or many of the other products that are on the market. So many women, not just poor women, many women seek out Planned Parenthood for those services.
And we all know someone who has had to end a pregnancy using some of these kinds of methods that he was so graphically describing on the floor. I don't think any of us know anyone who did that gleefully, which is part of what's implied in the way Congressman Smith describes these things. And by the way, I am very, very certain that Congressman Smith, whether he knows it or not, knows people who have had to do this. And it may be that those people keep it secret from him, but he knows people who have had to do this. It is something that comes much more commonly than Congressman Smith understands.
I think that's true, Lawrence. I think there's probably other women who serve in the Congress that have had to endure this experience. I mean, in my case, it was a baby that I wanted to have, and it was a medical complication that forced me to have to go through that procedure. But it is by no means anything you do lightly, and it is a very sad time in a woman's life.
Congresswoman Jackie Spears, thank you very much for joining us tonight, and thank you very much for stepping forward on the House floor last night and saying what had to be said.
Well, it's a privilege to serve, and it's a privilege to speak out for America's women.